Hey, what's up? It's Jesse. And when you're out shopping for a home and you see a house that has a lot of activity and it looks like it's well priced, great location, great condition, the one thing that you are always thinking in your back of your mind is this house going to get multiple offers? And typically they do. The reason why is because most sellers are coached into putting their house on the market at a price that's going to generate a lot of activity. Over the past few years, the real estate market has been getting multiple offers on almost every single house. And as the market slows down, you're not seeing it as common, but you still see it. So we recently ran into a situation with a first-time home buyer that was actually super excited about this house. And we knew that it had multiple offers. Now, our client really, really wanted the house. And the one thing that we coach our clients with all the time is we always say, look, it's your decision whether you're going to get the house or not get the house. We don't let our clients lose. We let our clients decide on the fact that they're either going to win or they're going to retract their offer or decide straight up that it's not worth moving forward. Because if you're getting beat on multiple offers all the time, you start to feel like you're losing and that your agent's not doing their job. But when it's your decision on whether or not you want to move forward, that's exactly where you want to be. So I'm going to discuss exactly how we were able to get this client into the house of their dreams. And before I do it, make sure you hit that like button. And for more stories and more first-time home buyer information, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you never miss your chance to watch another video and actually make your comments down in the box because we bring those comments to life. We turn this into an interactive channel. So that way I'm answering the questions that you're asking and I'm reading the funny comments that you guys are making. So let's get into it. So we met this client through YouTube on another channel, and that's the way we meet with a lot of clients. And they said, hey, look, we're moving to town. We want to live in this specific area. Here's our budget. We're already fully approved, all the things. It was a great first conversation. However, where they were looking to move, I knew was a hot zone, and our team lead knew it was a hot zone as well. But the good thing is when we work with clients, our team lead, our lender, we all work in collaboration with each other. So that way, when we go to put in offers with clients on listings, we know exactly what the routine is and the process and the strategy to get their offers accepted. Like I mentioned in the opening, the one thing that we coach our clients through in our first meeting is that we don't lose offers. We let you make the decision whether you're going to win or lose, and then it's on you. So the way that we do that is we have an amazing relationship and a very, very well-rounded reputation in our community with working with buyers. Now, a lot of people say that all the money's in working with sellers. However, we love working with buyers because we know in 5 to 7 years, most buyers are going to turn into sellers. And if we do our job right and you like working with us, guess what? You're going to turn into a seller. So anyways, when you develop a reputation for representing the best buyers and having the best buyer program on the planet, sellers love and listing agents love working with you. And that's pretty much the situation at hand. So this house was listed for $700,000 and we knew it was going to get multiple offers based on its location, based on its condition, and based on the price. You're like, $700,000, that's not a great price. Well, in this area, it was a great price. So we made sure that our client was fully approved. This means that the client had already gone through underwriting with the lender, they had already submitted their W-2 documents, their job had been verified, their funds had been verified. They showed us that they had money in the bank. And when a lender fully approves you and you've gone through underwriting, it's a guarantee that the loan's going to close. A pre-approval letter that you got off Quicken Loans is not a guaranteed closing. Anyone can go on to Quicken Loans, plug in fake information and get a pre-approval letter. So we had our clients fully approved, which when the market was crazy, multiple offers, we made sure every client was fully approved. Because if you're talking to a listing agent and they're making a decision whether they're going with this offer or that offer, and both clients are pre-approved, or even one is a cash buyer, if you're fully approved, it's as good as cash. If they're fully approved it and stamped it, they have to ensure that that deal is going to close. We've gone through some issues where the banks have promised that their clients are fully approved and they don't, and they're not. We've had banks actually have to write checks to our clients for a lot of money because of that situation. So we were able to talk to the listing agent. We said, look, our client is fully approved. Our client is putting X amount of dollars down. They are willing to work with your client if they need rent back, if they need whatever it takes. The client is willing to get the deal. They're willing to write the offer for over list price. and they have money in the bank to offset the appraisal. In case the house was listed at 700, our client was going to come in at about 775. And if the house appraised at 700, then the client would have to make up the difference for 775. And sometimes if you don't put in an appraisal waiver, then you can renegotiate the price of the house. But if you put in the appraisal waiver and say that you're going to bring cash out of pocket to offset that difference, then it's all good in the hood, you know? So the client was willing to do that. They had the proof. And they also said, look, if there's any repairs under $5,000, then the buyer is not going to ask for anything. So a lot of times people will say buyer's buying the house as is, then they'll go in and they'll do an inspection, and then they'll ask for all these repairs, even though that they said they're buying the house as is. Well, our client said that they were not willing to ask for anything over 5,000. And the reason they said 5,000 is because if there was something catastrophic that showed up, sewer line break, really bad electrical panel that needs to be replaced, like say there's 2 panels, the house had 2. So one panel is not $5,000, but multiple panels will run up over $5,000. If there's a really bad situation going on with plumbing, if the roof has a ton of issues and it needs to be replaced, there's just some unknowns that we didn't see, maybe a foundational issue. It really provides insurance. But if somebody comes in and starts asking for 10 things and they all come in under $5,000, then they're just going to say, look, you said you weren't going to ask for repairs up to $5,000, and the buyer was willing to spend $5,000 in repairs with a handyman or a contractor or a licensed journeyman and to trade to get things fixed up to $5,000, right? So the other piece to this is our lender also called the listing agent on the buyer's behalf saying, look, I've already got this borrower fully approved. We can close in 2 weeks. I've already verified funds. I've already verified employment. We've already taken all the way through underwriting. Literally, all we have to do is get the final signatures, get the information from this house, plug it in the system, send it to the underwriter, let them do their one last check, and then send it off, and we'll be able to wrap this thing up. So when we package all of that together, and we even ask if we can present the offers to the seller themselves, a lot of times the agents say no. But when we had great communication and we were able to work through all the things with the listing agent, they were actually really, really happy with the way that we were able to purchase or package the entire offer together, deliver it, show that we were coming in with a seamless transaction, and that everybody was on board. Even our lender was on board, which that's the way we operate on every single deal. And we were able to present our offer in a very solid manner. Here's the thing that was crazy is during that transaction, some of our other multiple competition were cash buyers. And the reason that the seller didn't want to work with cash buyers, and I hear this a lot, is because they submit their offer and then you don't hear anything from them. They feel entitled. And this is why a lot of agents, including myself, like working with agent clients borrowing money versus clients coming with cash, because cash buyers a lot of times feel entitled. They feel like they can weasel themselves into a lower purchase price through the transaction. And when I go out to write offers on my own behalf and I'm borrowing money, the thing that actually really makes the seller happy is when I say, hey, look, and this is when you know that you have 100% confidence that you're closing on this home and that nothing's going to stand in your way, is you always have to put in earnest money on an offer. So typically in most states, it's 1% of the sales price. So if $700,000 house, you're putting in $7,000. Well, when I was buying houses and when the rates were really low and I knew that there was nothing that was going to stand in my way because I was going to gut the house and flip it or whatever, is I would say, look, when you accept my offer, I'm going to release $20,000 in earnest money to you upon acceptance. That means if anything happens and I bail on this deal, you have $20,000 in your pocket. That is insurance that I'm going to close. Now, if you terminate the deal, you don't get the $20,000. So what we say is we're going to release that earnest money upon acceptance. They're going to hold it in an escrow account until we close the deal. And then they're going to get that money. In case I bail, they're going to get the $20,000. If they bail, I get my $20,000 back. That is a golden strategy that not a lot of people know about. So we didn't have to do it in this situation because they like the borrower's package. So we were able to get the deal done. We were able to get it closed in a couple of weeks. The buyer was extremely ecstatic because they'd actually been looking at some other houses in some other markets and they weren't able to get a deal accepted because the team that they were working with wasn't using all the strategies that our team uses, which when you work with over, a couple hundred buyers every single year, you learn exactly what the market is dictating and exactly what it takes to get deals accepted in multiple offer situations. Now, there are a lot of times when they're only getting one deal on the home, and typically that's a situation which actually could favor the buyer a lot more favorably than obviously multiple offers. And multiple offers, you lose a lot of leverage when there's only one offer or no offers, the buyer actually starts building leverage. The best deal that you're going to get is when a house is on the market for a long time and they're getting no offers. But typically in those situations, you have to identify why it's been on the market for a while. It's usually location, condition, or price. And if it's overpriced, the seller is probably unrealistic anyways, and they're going to take a major price reduction if they're getting no offers anytime soon. The way it works, and for something that you know, is that if a house is getting no showings and no offers, it's way overpriced. If the house is getting a couple of showings but no offers, 10% above price. If the house is getting showings and no offers, a lot of showings and no offers, it's typically priced 5% above market value. And if they're getting offers, it's priced at market value. This is why sellers want to get their home sold as quick as possible, because the quicker they get it sold, the more offers they're going to get. And typically the value is going to increase. That's exactly why when you see low inventory rates, you see multiple offer situations, because there's not a lot to choose from. And when rates are really low, everyone's taking advantage of that low rate and they're not scared to raise their price. Now, right now, as interest rates are, in the sevens, and they're like, I'm able to get the house at list price, not bringing a lot of cash out of pocket because we're having to go 70,000 over list price. The mortgage on a house today with a 7% interest rate is going to be higher than a house with a 2 and 3% interest rate, even if they're paying $100,000 more. It's freaking wild. So you kind of have to pick your poison and in what market you're going to buy in. But we always know that there's always going to be real estate to purchase, and there's always going to be rates that fluctuate up and down. The only thing that has been inconsistent over the course of time is the increase in equity in real estate. This is why a lot of real estate investors prefer home ownership over any sort of real estate investing, but diversification is always the best key to success. Always consult with your financial advisor. And until next time, stay safe, and we'll catch you later.